I had six figures sitting in my bank account. And today, I'm an administrative assistant. How did I get here? And why am I not fighting like crazy for a dramatic change? I've had the job where I'm on track for leadership, I'm the go to guy, doing well. But for some reason, I always felt like I wasn't doing enough. I always felt like I was disappointing someone. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I don't care. I do not care about being the best team member. I do not care about sitting in leadership meetings, talking in circles every month. And I do not care about making a ton of money. The money and the job, it did give me financial and physical freedom, but I've never felt more alone in my life than when I had that much money in my account. On the outside, friends and family, they saw me being more confident, but also shutting down and creating more walls, willing to help, but also rarely ever around unless there's like a major event going on or something like that. The craziest thing though is that during all of this time, I was judging other people for settling and not working hard enough, as if I had reached this pinnacle where, when I really thought about it, I hated my life. I realized I do not even like me right now. I thought I needed a new job, like maybe switch things up a little bit. Hey, who knows? Maybe I just want more attention. And so I went and joined a new company, didn't work out, went and started doing freelance work, built a strong reputation in the space for being really good, started making sports content because I like sports, right? I felt like I was still putting on a show, and I was. That's when I realized I don't even care about recognition either. I was constantly raising the bar for myself over and over again just to realize that ultimately I don't really care about getting over this damn bar because I was fighting for respect from people I don't actually respect. And even worse, I was getting respect and applause for being a version of me that wasn't really me. Imagine you telling yourself that today you are going to be a completely different person. And then you're going to do that all day. And at the end of the day, people come up to you and they're like, bro, I loved you today. You are killing it. Keep up the hard work. Need to see more of that. What? You liked that fake version of me? And two ways you can go about it. You can think, okay, I should adapt that and work towards being that person. Or you realize that's not you. And you don't want to be that fake version. That didn't feel good. You don't feel good leaving that conversation. And the people who say that, they didn't do anything wrong. That's not on them. That's on me for showing up as someone I'm not. I was letting other people's definition of success and happiness define what that looked like for me. Because if I don't value or respect the space, why would I ever respect where I am in it? For me, my experiences were primarily in executive recruiting, and my hobby was daily fantasy sports. I was above average at both, but I actually hated the spaces themselves. Therefore, of course, all the accolades in those spaces meant absolutely nothing to me. So where do I go from there? We live in a capitalist society. You have to make money to survive, and I can't lay in bed all day and do nothing, or eventually I'll die. I did that for a little bit. I'm single with no kids. And so I wanted something that would keep me busy enough throughout the day, but still gave me the freedom to pursue the things I wanted to do. My 9 to 5 is now me being an administrative assistant. And I have way, 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 way less money than I used to in my bank account. But I now claim the title of being an artist. That, I never really saw myself as an artist. And I still don't know if that's the right title because growing up, I couldn't draw or paint to save my life. I still remember a time in college when I was volunteering at an elementary school and we were painting walls. And I destroyed the entire thing. And for a long time, I didn't touch a paintbrush for a hot minute because that was traumatizing. But I've always kind of seen myself as more like a logical numbers guy or more like a problem solver. And just growing up, I always thought artists were living in a fairy tale. They didn't really see reality. But I realized I had it completely backwards. Most artists can create their own realities, but a lot of them see our reality for what it really is, made up. I realized so many of us are actually artists. I personally feel the most alive when I create a spark in someone's soul. Like we are having a conversation and they're like, "You are making me think about things in ways I normally wouldn't." I've never really seen it that way before. Or when someone just feels like they've been seen in a conversation, you can see their brain just light up. Where someone actually says you help them understand themselves more, or they just feel comfortable, more comfortable around something that they were talking about than they did before the conversation. I love that spark in humans, in us. And I think too often we try and force ourselves to be robots. And I just realized that wasn't for me. I'm not a robot. I can fake it like no other, but eventually I'll crash out or burn out. And I just can't do that. And that robotic line of thinking where everything is either very black or white or right or wrong, no nuance, people without nuance, those spaces and those people just aren't going to be for me. And I don't remember where I heard this from, sadly, but someone told me that there are builders and there are creators. And in the world we live in, many outside sources try and force us into being builders. And so from the get go, like, hey, get good grades, go to college, get a job that is related to the degree you got, work in said job, climb ladder, success. I was trying to force myself into a role that wasn't meant for me. But this system does make it a lot easier where if you conform and you stay in line, you will be rewarded. But those of us who don't, who want to do things differently, you have to get past the judgment first of others, the whispers, until our creations reach a level where people don't just write it off as some simple hobby or something small. If it doesn't make money, it's not deemed worthwhile. How many people respect your craft does not matter. How many people view your craft does not fucking matter. But the thoughts and the creations we have in our minds that we don't talk about or share enough with our friends, besides in our own overthinking minds, that is what we need to share. That is your art, that is your craft, that is your passion. That is where I have found real happiness, no longer just doing what looks good, what sounds good, what's making me look or appear to be successful. So everyone knows in the back of their mind that Josiah's doing great. You don't have to worry about him. Just me being present. And that's me professionally, that's me personally, just really being me. And part of why I'm doing this channel is because of what I'm creating. I'm creating outside of this room, trying to build a stronger community of like minded people, filtering out who has access to me and who I receive it from. That is what makes me successful now, what I'm creating. And finally acting on what my purpose is. And the only way I fail is if I don't start.